Welcome back, everyone, and continuing with the discussion. I'm glad that we had this discussion because it's not the one that I'm going to have with Justin, because the problem that we had has really nothing to do with the parade, and not a problem, like just a disagreement. Preview. Like if you start talking about far right groups and include the Proud Boys, you and I are gonna have words, because that's like a trolly middle of the road Republican group to me. Like if that's far right, we are jumping the shark, kids.
Yep.
Right.
But that's really like the thing that I want to talk about with Justin is like the way we are messaging our response to this. That's going to be a great podcast. Look, we're probably going to talk about that for like 10, 20 minutes and then break off to we'll talk about nuclear power because it's Justin.
Because Justin really wants to talk about nuclear power in the worst way. So give him 40 minutes to do that, please.
Oh my God.
And we're gonna make Aaron sit through all of it.
I bet Aaron
Misery loves company, right?
is going to not permit this show to happen for her.
Oh my goodness.
And I'm busy.
So
yeah, Dre and I are working that night.
Speaking of nuclear power, so so we've covered the cake thing, which is still I can't even.
Live?
No, we didn't cover the cake thing live. You want to cover the cake thing live?
I thought we did.
No, we talked about it on the pre-show.
Are you sure?
Yeah. I'm sure.
Okay, so basically last year.
Boy.
No, let me give everyone Autumn Scardina is a transgender Colorado woman, filed suit against Phillips, the cake guy in Colorado.
Cake in Denver.
Right. So this is after he basically had to sue Colorado last year to get them to back the fuck off. So she's apparently angry about that not going the way she wanted it, and she's taking it herself.
Somebody didn't get enough hugs and kisses of the kid.
Yeah.
I just killed my watch party.
It's fucking stupid, man.
Worse than Hitler.
Okay, so look. Okay, I'm gonna go on my tangent here, but
Please.
fuck 'em. Like, if you don't like it, go somewhere else. That's
Right.
the point. Like in Spokane, when I was in Washington, there was a bar in Spokane that had a drink called the Date Rape. And excuse me, it was the Date Rape. It was a grape drink, and it probably had vodka in it, right? Whatever. And somebody was offended by it, right? Oh, I'm offended. Well, don't go there, you stupid ass. Don't go there. Well, I'm offended. It hurt my soul. Fuck off.
Tough shit.
Tough titties, right? So, like, that's the problem. So you got these people who come in and they just want to fucking find something they can be offended about. And then they're going to go, and they're so happy, equal rights, blah, 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 blah. Fuck you. Leave. Get the fuck out. That's what I would tell them. Get the fuck out. And then they had a protest in front of their building because everyone got together and they were like, this place sucks. Well, maybe the dude made a bad decision at that point. Now you have to deal with the culture of your neighborhood or your community. That dude wasn't smart enough to find out maybe he shouldn't have been there if he's going to have the date grape drink. Maybe that offended somebody, but again, we can go anything and we can talk about anything and it can offend everyone. So why, it's fucking ridiculous. Where do we draw the line?
Why are we giving so much credence to offense? I see shit every day, and I saw shit every day as like a female teenager in the 90s. You know how much shit offended me? Jesus fucking Christ. I grew some thick skin and I got the fuck over, frat boy jokes. They're funny.
Yeah,
right?
They are.
And if I don't like it, I can look the other way, or I can not go where that shit is.
Exactly.
About.
Here's my thing. You have the right to be offended. You have the right to speak up and tell people that you're offended. Cool, do that. If there's a business that has practices that you don't like, absolutely boycott, protest, do that. I support that. Fine.
Right.
What you don't get to do is use the government to force somebody else.
Yes.
To serve you in any fucking way. You want to protest. You want to use good, smart, free market solutions. to combat hate speech and bigotry and all these things that you're offended by, do that. That's
Exactly.
what I want too. Do that. But
Aaron.
don't bring a government gun to the fucking fight.
Yep,
Yeah.
I'm so sick of the loudest offended people, the minority offended people being so loud and using the arm of the government to, as a fist, to crack over the head of anybody who they disagree with, regardless of what it is,
Right.
how it affects their life. It couldn't even affect their life in the slightest, and they're still just hammering. What did I see today? It was that college, there was a bakery right outside or in the college, and these kids were shoplifting. This bakery's been 5 generations, 3 generations are still alive. And the guys admitted they were shoplifting. Well, the students got on board and decided to protest and say it was racist because the shoplifters happen to be black. And these guys won in court their first part of it, which was like 11 million. And the next part is the punitive, and it's like 33 million. And that's going to be decided next week. I hope they get every goddamn penny from that college because they allowed these kids to ruin these people's business for no reason.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it boils down to the fact that, again, we go back to property rights. There was, Aaron, you live in Oklahoma. There was a bar in Oklahoma, and there was like some racist old fuck. I don't know who he was, but he was just like, we don't like people with hats in here. We don't like black people, whatever. That's that dude's right. Like, I support that dude. Like, the dude is wrong morally, but that's his choice. And so, like, if he wanted to do it, pander to a certain clientele, that's his obligation. That's his right. It's a God-given right to do it. Do I agree with him? Absolutely not. But I wouldn't go there. The guy's a dick.
Right. Don't give him your money. You don't agree with him. Stop supporting his business. His business will fail. He will go away.
That's right.
Even Steven, man, that's how you do that shit. I smoke, right? I smoke lots of stuff.
I smoke like a motherfucker. I can't smoke in here, and you're making me jealous. God damn.
So Johnny, if I want to open a smokers only restaurant, I should be able to do that.
You should, and it's
Here's
called
the
the Heart Attack Bar and Grill in Vegas, and it's awesome. Thank you. All right.
So Laura Ewing was offended by the men of the show not showing off any skin. Here you go. It's the gun show. Drink it in.
You asked for it, lady. That's a nice
seriously.
out there.
This is depressing as fuck. These should be like twice this size, realistically.
And twice the color.
Oh yeah, I don't get to walk around with my sleeves off very often anymore.
I'm all right.
I'm not
Look,
taking
I got the coolest tats though. Look, this side. This is my Jesus transformer.
I hate that. Oh yeah, Autobot, man. Fuck yeah.
So and I feel terrible about this because I saw this design. What's that?
I can't see.
It's neither. It's supposed to look like an Autobot, but it's got like a cross, and it's a play on Transformers, but it's referencing a verse in the New Testament that talks about being transformed every day by renewing your mind.
Okay. You lost me. All right, cool. That's fucking cool. I love Transformers.
I
love that shit.
I feel like that's one of the, like, whether or not you are into religion or Christianity, that verse is really cool. Just by like every day, wake up, like rattle this a little bit, like get yourself into a good mental place and get better every day. And that's something I try to do.
Cheers.
You know, while we're talking about tattoos, I'm going to do our push again. We are all three willing.
Oh, yeah.
We are all three willing for a sizable donation and of the cost of the ink to get Alex Jones tattooed somewhere on our body. Styling of our choice.
Whoa. I did not agree to this. You two did.
Yeah, I don't know that we can pull Zach into this
Okay,
one.
I guess Zach's not going to do it, but Dre and I will do it.
She's gonna
Dre
get
wants to
right
get
on
on
her.
her ass.
So, I okay.
Sorry. Like tattoos are like
I'm
really
not
symbolic to
gonna
me.
go there. There's a joke there, and I'm not going there. All right.
So if I
The
get it
joke's
as
already
a-
been made. You might as well.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure it's already been said.
No, it's just
We've been
You
talking about this for months. Go ahead, Johnny.
it's just a fucking spot to aim, right? Like I came on Alex Jones' face, right? I mean, that's just how we are, right? It's how we think.
Eh.
I agree to an Alex Jones tattoo. However, under my own artistic vision, right? So he's got to be in submission drag with a ball gag in his mouth.
Oh God! All right.
I'm just gonna have him on my his face on my ass, and maybe a gay frog like really flamboyantly dancing next to him.
There you go.
I think some people want you to take some clothes off, Johnny.
I saw that comment.
I'm pretty sure that maybe Kim wouldn't so much appreciate
Yeah,
that.
She just wants you to take your blue shirt off.
He's a married man. Have some mercy.
Look, stop putting yourself between a couple, man. That's very.
I got to be good, man. I'm dedicated, man. I'm a married man. I'm happy. I'm good to go, and I have the most beautiful wife in the world. So,
all right, I have a Justin O'Donnell. When you've been calling me a Kardashian, what the actual fuck? I thought you were a fan.
What the actual fuck? I thought you.
Yeah, you guys aren't friends anymore.
No,
We can have call on Dre Kardashian. And make
Dre
it fun.
Kardashian. I like it. I think it rolls off the tongue.
And this guy's afraid to make a cum joke. You know what? I'll tell you what, Justin. Fuck you. All right. Go fuck yourself. I know you're in the LNC. Go fuck yourself. I'll see you in July. All right.
I was just gonna say, aren't you gonna see him?
I don't know. Hear me out. I don't know the show that well, so I'm trying to I don't want to make fucking bad jokes.
Oh no. We talk about BDSM about halfway into these podcasts every time.
I'm just trying to feel my way through the fucking situation. I don't know. I don't know.
somebody should have told you. There's no rules here.
But at the same time, I try to, we all want respect. I mean, and then that's,
Sure.
and I nobody wants to be disrespected. Except for Raptor. Fuck you, Raptor, right?
Look, it's one thing when you're tight with somebody and you know what you can get away with. But when you're not, when you're an acquaintance or a colleague, yeah, you head into stuff with a certain measure of kind of, I'm not crossing these lines because I don't know you that well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's just, you just got to feel shit out. I mean, like if I go to an LNC meeting or a fucking Libertarian Party of Ohio or whatever fucking country I'm in, I use that word very, very purposefully. But seriously, there are other countries in this world and in the United States. If you go to Seattle or Texas and Nebraska or New Hampshire or Florida, they are different countries, and they should be. And they're different cultures. There's different cultures there. You have to adjust and overlap. When I was in Alabama, I made a joke on Facebook. I'm like, I've been to almost every state in this fucking union.
I saw this.
Yeah, and Alabama, I was like, like I lived there. It was fucking horrid. Like it was shit. And everyone's like, well, this place ain't bad. Montgomery ain't bad. Birmingham ain't bad. Yeah, better. But like, fuck, I was in LA, Lower Alabama, and that was right near like Dothan. Fuck that noise, man. That was horrid. And if anyone like supports Dothan, you're an asshole. All right. Because if you like that place, this place sucks. There's like the bars, except for like one bar. The bars close at like 9:00. They have nothing better to do. And they're like, we're going to pray tomorrow. Like, fuck.
Welcome to my life.
Yeah.
So I lived in Corbin, Kentucky, which, by the way, home of KFC, like the first ones there. I remember the first, because I had been driving, like there was a girl that I had met there, and we had met online playing video games. So that's what I'm walking into in this situation. I get out of my car and I'm like, God, it smells like incest in the air. And like, I'm kidding, but it's not really a joke.
No. Dude, Raptor, check this shit out, dude. So, unfortunately, I was in the military, and you know what? I have some good memories of the military.
Yeah, I do
not
too.
like killing people or whatever, but what I'm saying is there were some enjoyable times. One of them was, well, it wasn't enjoyable. It was just weird. But I went to I was in, I don't know, was it Biloxi or some bullshit like that? Anyways, I was in some weird, like, dirty South town, and we had to do a funeral, ceremony for somebody who had passed. And I looked at the family, and they're out in the middle of nowhere. Like, it was like it was deliverance. It was fucking deliverance. And everyone looked the same. Everyone looked the same. The entire family. And the shit is true. Everyone's fucking each other down there, man. Everyone's fucking each other. And it's weird. And it was like, we got to go. We got to go. Why don't you eat with us? We got a boogie. We got a boogie. We got to go. I ain't staying with y'all.
They're trying to get some new lifeblood into the tree. It's a stick rat now.
We needed some new DNA down there.
Need some new DNA. And you look good for us, Johnny. I'm like, fuck.
You look like you have strong hips.
Yeah. Oh, God. Thanks. Oh, man.
He has good communal shower memories. Did you like? I don't know. When I was in basic, we didn't really like
Communal.
They were kind of communal, but we had stalls.
Yeah, you had. No. We didn't have stalls. We had
Like it wasn't like fucking Starship Troopers where I was.
No, there wasn't like chicks in there with you.
Oh
you
no,
know?
not like that. But like there wasn't like. It wasn't like when I played football and you'd walk into a shower and there's.
Hey Tyrone, how's it going, brother?
Yeah.
I mean, it was one big room when I was.
Can I tell my shower story from the army? Because this one's really good.
Oh, right.
So, there's 6 stalls in the shower, and we would all have to line up, and I'm naked like everyone else, whatever. Yep, Benning. That's right.
I'll say you're infantry.
No, there was no room in any other basic for me.
So you went to like Fort Stewart after basic.
Bliss.
Okay, wow, hard life.
It went Benning, Bliss, Sill.
I was at Sill for like.
Anyway,
forever.
Let me tell my story.
Go ahead.
So this kid in front of me, we had been kind of razzing him for a little bit because he was the smelly kid. And so he's next in line. I'm right behind him. He goes in. I turn around, put my towel on the thing, grab my soap and stuff because I'd already set it down on the bench. And I turn around and he's coming back out already. And I'm just like, nope. You get your ass back in there. You spend at least a fucking minute. We were tired of smelling you.
There's no way you soap, you stinky fuck.
Like he was not wet all over.
Oh my God.
Our drill sergeant
turned around.
Yeah. Like, yeah.
What like the gay guys did in the basic, they would drop the liquid soap. Oh my God, I dropped the soap.
So we had an incident. And this was before the Army really started going EO in the early 2010s. One of our fire guards caught 2 dudes in the stairwell at night sucking each other off, and our drill sergeant lost his shit. Like this is a deeply religious Southern black man who was not having any of this nonsense.
Do it.
What's that?
I think you've done this impression before.
I can't. So his voice was very. If you've ever seen Major Payne, it was like that, and he wasn't faking it. That's just how he sounded.
Was he a little bitty guy? Because if
yes,
he was, I think I had him in AIT.
He was like 5'3".
Okay,
I wish I could remember his name.
So he was like my Benjamin.
What's that?
Was his last name Benjamin? Just on Benjamin, if you're watching, I love you. Don't hunt me down. He was one of my drill sergeants in AIT, and he was just like that. He would push his hat back. It's just, you're watching his brain try to not explode over your stupidity, right?
Right. So, and this is the thing. Like, to me, it was just like, well, I mean, you probably shouldn't be doing that. I was already kind of going through I'm shifting strongly from Republican to not giving a fuck about what other people do with their lives. And I was just like, I mean, is it that big of a deal? To this guy, it was apparently. But
yeah.
So there was another point in basic where someone mouthed off to him because they were doing push-ups and everything. Someone mouthed off, is like, you have us doing this all the time. You couldn't do it. And he's like, okay, I'm gonna go 1 for 1 with you, and drops down, and they start going 1 for 1. Except the drill sergeant is doing them one-armed and puts the other kid into the ground.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
It was like, Jesus.
My
No one
best,
fucked with them after that either.
my best basic training
Right.
story. My platoon had 3 drill sergeants. Every platoon had 3 drill sergeants, right? And one of our drill sergeants was female, and one of the drill sergeants in second platoon was female. They didn't like each other. And they were always trying to
Your
outdo
drill
each other.
sergeant is a spicy Kevin Hart.
Right?
They're always trying to outdo each other, right? So our drill sergeant had like been on our ass about something, a cadence competition, something, right? And so we went out and killed it because we were afraid of her. Like rightfully, we were afraid of her. Well, that pissed the other drill sergeant off. So as soon as our drills left, the other drill sergeant's on CQ, and she walks into the barracks and chains the doors on the inside and said, well, guess what we're doing tonight, ladies? Y'all think you're hot shit. And somebody snuck into the drill sergeant's office and called our drill sergeant. And all hell broke loose. Like they were throwing down on a hard stand.
The drill sergeants were?
Our drill sergeants. There's like 2 platoons going, get her! Get her! Right? And they're like throwing down because she had come in and spoke us because we beat them in a competition. It was crazy.
That's so awesome.
It's epic.
So
That's
can
epic.
we talk about how terrible women's drill sergeant hats are? Like, why can't they have the same
agree.
hat?
I agree. Well,
Those hats are so fucking dorky.
why don't they have the brown round?
Right.
And you know, here's the thing: the brown round meant something. That was a sign of fear
Right.
for us. You know, like we see that fuck, and then when you see the blue around the you know what I'm talking about, the blue on the fucking medallion, the emblem.
Yeah.
You know they're infantry, right?
Yep.
You know they're assholes, right? So like you have asshole, and then you see the blue ring around their emblem, and you're like, oh fuck, goddamn infantry motherfucker.
Well,
And so-
dude, everybody's got a beret now.
What's that?
Well, no, they did away with
Everybody
berets.
gets a beret.
They did away
Yeah.
with berets.
Did they
Well,
really? I have
Right.
You have berets in your field dress uniform, or not your dress uniform, not your field uniform. The only people that have berets now are like Green Berets, Special Forces. Everyone else is wearing PCs again, and the uniform's different.
I see. That's the thing. That was God, Eric Shinseki who did that bullshit. General Eric Shinseki.
I hated that black beret so much.
Yeah. No. Well, you had to do it. You had to shave them and do all that bullshit. But the thing is, you ever see anyone wear the beret wrong?
Yes.
Like they just like pull it out of the bag and like they just like lay it on their head and it looks like a fucking like chef head hat. You know, you're like, why?
It's usually a sergeant major, a battalion sergeant major. Just
Yeah,
usually
it's always one of those guys, like some fucking Remph, right? Remph.
I'm not familiar with that term.
But I'm not military.
Rear echelon motherfucker.
Oh
All right.
yeah, okay. Well, I mean,
Yeah.
I was in Patriot, man. That was everybody.
Yeah. So I was basically, so how I joined up, it was a funny story. So they told me, I was living out of my car, and me and my girlfriend had just broken up at the time. I was like 18, 19 years old. And they were like, hey, so you want to join the military? I'm like, yeah, I'll do anything but infantry. I just want to be cool though. I don't want to be like infantry, like how about a tanker? And I'm like, yeah, I don't want to be a dumbass tanker. And then they're like, what do you want to do? And I'm like, I don't know. And they're like, how about fire support specialist? And I'm like, that sounds cool. I'm like a firefighter, right? And they're like, yeah.
Isn't that artillery?
Yeah, I was an FO, a forward observer. So I was in front of the infantry.
So then, yeah, that would make sense why you were at SIL then.
Yeah, I was at SIL because I was artillery observer. So that's what I ended up doing with the infantry. Yeah, and I worked with the infantry for years, and I love those guys. I mean, they're actually a lot of people think like the infantry are stupid. No, the artillery guys are pretty stupid. The infantry guys are actually some of the smartest guys I've ever met.
They have something to prove.
No, but they're brilliant.
They're trying to stay alive.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
no, it's like a lot of the guys, I knew a lot of smart infantry guys. They went infantry because they had something to prove to themselves, not because they were too dumb to get something else.
That's how I got my MLS. I enlisted for some really scary reasons, right? I was trying to stay alive. I enlisted to stay alive.
I was the
Let that
opposite.
sink in for a minute. But I was looking. Also, I know now. I see it now. I didn't then to prove something to myself, right? To prove that I wasn't this victim or whatever I was feeling. So they're like, what about legal? And I'm like, I don't want a pussy legal job, right? So what do I get stuck with after they call the rock and I'm left with no other options? It's take this or fuck off, right?
Right.
Tank mechanic.
Yeah. So you've heard the term DAT, dumbass tanker, right?
Mhm.
Not you, Aaron, but like I'm just saying, like that's what we called everyone in the tank department.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, tank mechanic. Like that's going to translate into a great job when I get
No,
out.
it's not. It's not. Same thing with anything. Like, what did you do? I was an artillery observer, and then when I did actually end up put in my warrant packet, I ended up becoming a warrant officer, and then I was a warrant officer. I went back to Fort, and then did that, and then when I got through with that, again, really, I'm not going to fly again. How can I translate those skills into civilian sector? You can't. You can't.
Yeah,
so
that's what they
I
tell
actually screwed this up because I went Patriot, which is a job that has some transferability because you work on radar systems and communication stacks and all that. And I'm just like, I don't want anything to do with any of this shit ever again.
Yeah.
And I actually signed up. Look, this is morbid. I was not in a great place. I signed up because I wanted to go die and have it mean something.
That's pretty morbid, dude.
And like I picked
I did
Patriot because they're like, oh, it's a combat MOS, which technically it is. They fucking lied to me. Those motherfuckers never see combat unless they volunteer to go into another unit to do it.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
So it's like, if I could go back, I probably would have actually done tank.
You know what though? Fuck it, man. I should have just done SF, just done it the whole fucking shebang.
Mm-hmm.
Just gone special forces. I could have. I mean, I decided not to, but I should have. I should have applied. It would have been cool. And and again, actually, the SF they don't even really. They just train other people. Their job and work with the CIA. I mean, that's really what they do. They're not like, what you think they do. They're there to train other countries how to fight. They're not there to actually. They're not the bullet catchers like the Marines. Sorry, Marines, but that's
Okay, so like when I was enlisted, I would say the vast majority of soldiers that I met were from Ohio. Like, what the fuck is up with that?
I don't know.
There's always 8 or 10 guys in your platoon from Ohio.
Because they had good recruiters there. They were awesome.
Dude,
those guys sold that shit.
In Patriot, I swear to God, a third of everyone was from Alabama.
I've heard a good recruiter, and So when my daughter was about to graduate, I went with her to see a recruiter, and my uncle is also a recruiter. And the stories that I heard were vastly different. And then what I've heard from you guys since we started doing this podcast, because she talked to a Army National Guard, and they said they never get deployed, and if they never like she didn't get in.
They get to, so at this point, National Guard units get deployed more often than
the regular Army. That's right. You know why? Makes sense to me. Why would you put your fucking best assets there in the beginning? You want to send the goddamn no-goes out first.
That's a fair point.
I could send those guys out there.
Well, because it comes down to money. They have more invested in regular Army soldiers.
Regular Army you spent $1 billion on versus this guy. You're like,
Yeah, no. The recruiters, like all the lines that you hear, right? You'll get on the job training. When you get out, you'll get a better job. Look, construction. Any field, take any field. Somebody coming out of the military who's been doing it for 5 years in the military is -2 on entry level scale when they get to the real world.
Especially
Right.
tops.
The kid out of high school is going to start higher than you.
Probably.
So here's
I
the
thought
thing.
Because of the way that we're trained.
I thought that they were supposed to give preferential treatment, or at least first look at people coming out of the military.
Some companies do.
People
Like the
going,
company that I just got hired on with wanted disabled vets because it's working with disabled vets and they want that connection.
Right. But
Well, and a lot of times, Trey, that only applies to businesses and entities that receive federal funding. It's only if you receive federal funding that veterans
Well,
preference.
some companies, so you get, especially if you hire disabled veterans, you get tax breaks.
Yeah, it's about
Pretty
tax breaks.
So you guys were talking about recruiters. My ex-wife's recruiter was really good, considering that he got her to sleep with them before she went in.
Oh, look, when I got to
Putting in
AIT,
the extra.
when I got to AIT, I'm standing out at the smoke hole and see this little red
Yeah, I
Corvette pull up.
Right,
And
like,
it's a drill sergeant. It's one of our basic training drill sergeants and a chick who was in his platoon in basic training.
Mhm.
Like, and he's dropping her off because they are together. We just finished basic. She's in your platoon. Y'all were hooking up the whole time. And I see him, and I was just like, oh, fuck. So I just kind of like cleared my throat, and they both looked up, and I'm like, hey, y'all. Good to see you again.
Oh, Christopher Robinson. I am puffing on creamy tobacco flavor, Jewel. I only do tobacco flavor.
So I'm gonna have to start doing vaping for mental health reasons, which means I have to let Elfie start vaping too.
Okay, you make it sound like that's a bad thing.
It
No.
is.
Oh,
I'm just
for-
kidding. I'm just kidding.
get 0% nicotine.
No, I need the nicotine. There's no fucking point if there's no nicotine. I need the appetite suppressant.
Oh, gotcha.
Here's the thing, too. Like, I hear so many people who are going to, like, I'm going to stop smoking, so I'm going to go to vaping. And because smoking is bad for me, I'll go to vaping, and I'll work myself down to 0% nicotine. If it's not this delivery method, it's not the nicotine that hurts you, right? It's the delivery method. So if you're vaping,
lighting a combustible shit on fire and inhaling it with all those chemicals in it.
right, so
Nicotine
if your reason to quit is healthy, it doesn't matter if you move to 0% nicotine or not. Like, you're right, Laura. Zach doesn't just let Elfie do anything like.
So here's the thing. Look, in the bedroom, she has, depending on where we're at any given time, she typically has control.
There are
But
different dynamics depending on where
Right.
you are. And I will
We-
admit that not even being in you guys' community.
I am fiercely independent on everything else, and there's a lot of times where she, how do I say this? She, especially early on in our relationship, she gave a lot to make things like we both did. And now we don't have to do that anymore because we've kind of figured everything out. But I was the first healthy relationship she's ever had. So she was early on, especially really willing to give up a lot to make it keep working. And it's not like I was like, if you don't stop vaping, I'm going to break up with you. It's just like, for her, I said, I'd really like for you to stop vaping. So she did.
Well, I mean, that's what relationships are, right? That's what marriage is. That's what any relationship, a friendship, a community. It's about making the compromises that you can live with.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe holding out on the ones you can't, and that's okay.
I'm holding out for a hero till the end of the night.
So I just finished.
Yeah.
Watched Cobra Kai last night, and it is such a blast from the past. There's so many flashbacks to the original Karate Kid movies, and they incorporate 80s into the show and the 80s songs into the show, even if they have covers of them. It's really
You're the best around. No one's gonna be able to bring you down. You're the best. Yeah, everyone knows that one.
Oh,
So
yeah.
Oh my God, you guys! Do you remember last week
No.
when I was asking you for suggestions of things to binge watch because I was out of shows to watch?
Oh, yeah.
So I got a suggestion that came in, and it said, "Go watch." So my dad wrote a porno. Oh my God! It is the funniest shit I have ever seen in my life.
Really?
Hilarious.
Right.
And then they did a whole stage show version. It started on a podcast, and now they're doing this whole stage show. I watched all of these versions. It was like boom, boom, boom. The funniest shit I've ever seen in my life. You
Very
absolutely have to check it out.
I saw there's a new show Kim put on, and I was like, this sounds stupid. And it actually was pretty absurd, but it's actually funny and absurd, but it was good. It was called Documentary Now. You guys know what I'm talking about.
Mm-mm.
And
Huh.
Yeah, it's like a fake documentary, and it's just ridiculous. It's absurd, and it's. I thought it just sounded stupid, and then I started watching. And I'm like, this is actually pretty funny. They had Owen Wilson in it.
Those documentaries are fun. Do you guys watch What We Do in the Shadows? It was a movie, a documentary movie, and now they have a series, and the series is hilarious.
Saw the movie, but I never saw the series. Yeah,
Yeah, they're like, they all live in this house together. It's like the real world for vampires.
Yeah.
And they have a familiar, and they talk into the camera, and they go do their shit, and they're like, we do our best to blend in, and then they show them walking down the street in 14th century garb.
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen that movie. Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's absurd. Same thing with this documentary now.
Okay, I'm gonna watch that one. I'm gonna look it up right now.
Absurd. You're just like, what the fuck am I watching? And then you're just like, okay.
I need some of that because they insert this SJW bullshit into every new show that comes out. Like, there's got to be check this box, this, and this, all the multicultural bullshit.
Yeah.
Like, listen, I just want to watch a show about some people doing some shit, and it's interesting in one way or another.
That's all.
I've seen good shit lately. Really good shit. Death at a Funeral was fucking hilarious. Always Be My Maybe was great. I watched a movie last night, and it's a Robin Williams movie that I'd never seen. It was called The Big Wedding. And it was hilarious. Hilarious.
Shit, I've never heard any of those things you just mentioned.
Yeah, I'm like, when I run out of my shows, so, you wait all season for something to drop, and then you binge watch it in 3 days, or I do, and then I'm kicking myself going, all right, idiot, now what? So you get desperate. When you're desperate for just any entertainment whatsoever, you will click on shit you would not normally click on, and sometimes it's horrific, but sometimes it's this little special surprise, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Again, I wish I had more time. Like every night we watch Netflix around 10 o'clock ish, but that's it. I mean, really, I don't have much time to do that. I read normally. I normally read books normally during the day. So again,
I listen to audiobooks. That's my mental stimulation.
Yeah. Read books. Audiobooks are great too. Podcasts are great when I'm driving. But,
yeah, now there's that site that that condenses nonfiction into 15 minutes. Audiobooks. That's pretty cool.
Those are good.
What is this?
It's I can't remember. I shared it with these guys the other day. I can't remember what it's called, but maybe condensed book, audiobooks, but it condenses nonfiction books into 15 minutes.
It's like Cliff Notes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically, yeah.
It's like the Cliff Notes version, but you can get you can squeeze one in on your smoke break, right? Like
right, like on the way to work.
Shout out to Smoke Break.
Because my attention span for listening to stuff is about 10-15 minutes. Then I start thinking about what they're talking about in another sense of the thing, and I start drifting, and I'm like, shit, what are they talking about? I'm thinking about my own thing now.
That's right. No, I get you. But I think that's part of our culture now. And
yeah, the short attention span.
It is. I mean, if you think about it, I think it's just really hard for a lot of people to understand our philosophy too, because of the fact that we had to kind of muscle through, getting through the ideas of libertarianism, where I don't think most people are accepting of it as much as they should be based on their attention span, because they want easy results, quick, easy results. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with you, Dre. I'm just saying in general.
Yeah. And, that's what we talk about a lot is tailoring the message to people who are not in our circle or our movement. You can't start off with taxation is theft and status this and bootlick or that. You have to not make big sudden movements and, let's talk about less government and let's talk about some things that might, be up your alley as opposed to anarchy now.
Mm-hmm.
I think some of that. I say this because I know I've done it. Like, I think some of that for me, I forget. I've been doing this for a minute, and I forget how new and fresh and excited I was when I first came in, right? I forget those struggles. And a lot of times, like, I've been trying to like focus on it lately, right? And I will catch myself thinking, how many times do I have to tell somebody we've tried that shit? It's not going to work. Well,
Right.
duh, a million times, because these are new people. They've never heard it. I've said it before, but they've never heard it. And I'm really good at forgetting that and letting myself get short with somebody because I'm not taking a minute to take a breath and empathize.
Right.
And remember, right? Like, none of us sprung full grown in our libertarianism from Rothbard or Spooner's forehead.
No, they didn't. And good point. I mean, again, if we, try to change culture, I keep pointing out it is culture, and politics follow culture. It's downstream of culture. And again, we're never going to have people voting libertarian until we have a libertarian society. And it's up to us, what you guys are doing here at Drunken Disorderly Podcast, which I love the fucking name. It's really what you guys should be doing. And I applaud you guys because you guys are bringing it, but you're bringing entertainment into it. You know what I mean? You're not talking, we're doing a podcast and we're talking about TV shows. Yeah, it's part of our lives because we're human beings. But at the same time, we're also discussing these ideas that are very complex to some people and maybe ideas that nobody's ever thought about in this light. And so, like, it's up to us as libertarians to be like, fuck you guys. We need to start doing this shit and start getting this message out there. And even talking one-on-one. I mean, like, I am not a very big fan of the socialist movement in the LP, but at the same time, they're also human beings and they could be converted, not easily. But I hope to God we do not become part of the fucking LibSoc caucus.
And I say things we can't take back about them being humans and all that. I'm just kidding.
No, I mean, maybe not. I want somebody to say that they're not. No, they're fucking not humans. They're monsters, right? Because they appreciate force some way, somehow, and they believe rent is theft. Well, they're not voluntarious, right? They're not voluntarious. So if they believe that rent is theft, then they believe that somebody owes them something, and it's bullshit. And they're not voluntarious. So, and people, and here's one more point I'm going to make, and then I'm done. When you have libertarians who are saying that they're libertarian socialists, but they believe in communalism, but they want to have communalism within their own property, that's not libertarian socialism.
Right.
That's libertarian communalism. So quit using the word fucking libertarian socialism in our fucking rhetoric, because that is completely different. I'm ranting on this one. This pisses me off.
Fine. No.
We need to have Kevin Shaw back on.
No, I think for most of the activists that I know who self-identify that way, what they describe is exactly what Johnny's saying. They're talking about voluntary communities. And I think that the choice in name for the caucus for those individuals is incredibly unfortunate because it does not reflect truly what they're saying either. And that's sad.
Don't use the goddamn name socialist. That's all I'm saying.
It's offensive as fuck.
Exactly. If you want to be a fucking pinko, be a pinko over there. If you believe in property rights and you want to live in your fucking hippie commune, that's fucking great. I'm not a hippie. Fuck you, hippies. But cool. Fuck you. But cool. Do it, dude. More power to you.
Random thought. If My Little Pony is an anime, then Vermin Supreme is the Netflix adaptation.
Well, that's funny.
Oh my god.
But you know what? Vermin would think that's funny.
Oh, yeah, he'd totally get a kick out of that.
Vermin would laugh.
Oh, yeah, so we got to do this. Kevin Shaw and Justin O'Donnell are going to be leading the Libertarian Party Magic the Gathering caucus.
Yes.
I mean, I don't know if anyone's been catching it. I've like my nervous tick on this show, so that I don't do anything weird. Is this just to keep my hands busy? I shuffle. This deck sucks. I wouldn't actually use it for anything, but yeah.
Do you have a Magic the Gathering deck?
What'd you say, Johnny?
Do you have a Magic the Gathering deck?
Hang on.
Yeah, several.
Oh my god! All right.
We've nerd.
Just a whole new level of nerdness.
Okay, so oh my god.
But you should see my comic book collection. All right. Yeah, you're cool. Whatever, dude. Whatever. I bet you get all the girls with that shit. He probably does.
He
And
does
they're
more
probably
than he-
real chicks that are actually really real, you know?
Oh my god.
Oh,
What now?
nothing. We just saying how cool you look.
Hey, I got into that game from a girl, dude.
See, that's what I'm saying. They're like the real chicks, right? Actually, I was saying that, like, if you're a dude and you like that kind of shit, you're probably going to meet the best women in the world. You know what I mean? Like, if they're that cool, that's where you should be going. If they're a libertarian and just got laid at a Magic the Gathering tournament, fuck yeah, dude.
All
See?
right. I
So-
bet that was Quality Tale too. I'm just kidding.
This goes to Justin. He got laid at a Magic the Gathering tournament. That's awesome. That's great.
Here's the thing. Like I taught
I'm a bitch. I get it. It's fine. Don't hate mail me.
I taught Elfie how to play. This is something like we don't do it now because like we're actually both just disgusted with Wizards of the Coast as a company.
Mm.
But we used to sit there and just play for a couple hours. I got the decks that were specifically balanced against each other. They weren't like serious decks. That's what this one is actually. And we would just play and switch decks after a couple hands, and it was.
Look,
it was
that
good
would be
time.
a
And
badass-
then I would get laid. Fuck you, Laura.
That would be a badass county party, state party fundraiser too.
Remember when we tried to do that for the next unconvention and it got shot down?
Up right now. So we went from 14 to 15 people now on this podcast because we're talking about Magic the Gathering. But you know, you're right, dude. Like, here's the thing. I was one of those dudes who like I was part of the
I'm with
RPG.
you, Christopher.
Oh, I play D&D like a motherfucker.
Yeah.
Fuck you. I love it. I fucking love it, dude. Rock and roll. I fucking love it.
We still need to do our D&D campaign. Like I know how to do it. We can just record it out of Roll20. I'll re-up my subscription.
You know what would be funny is if you guys, drunk and disorderly, did a fucking Dungeons and Dragons game and you did it for like 12 hours. And you
Well-
actually played a game on the fucking podcast here.
Oh yeah,
and
there's people that do it on Twitch.
Yeah.
They'll do like
D&D
3 hours a week.
And people would be like, you guys are fucking ridiculous. And it would be hilarious.
We would do
You
it
know,
though.
I've never played, so that would be maybe fun. I don't know.
You would love it. You just have to learn the mechanics.
I went to keggers in high school.
So did I, but I also played D&D. Nobody knew I played D&D because I had my nerd friends over here and I like kept them cool. Like if they say, hey, Johnny, how's it going? I'm like, don't talk to me, bitch. And but then,
We would play D&D all weekend. My dad would
I love
let me
D&D.
invite anybody I wanted over. We would play all weekend. Dad would DM the game, and then he's keeping an eye on shit, right?
fucking problem,
But-
guys. We're fucking libertarians. And guess what? We should be appealing to nerd. Wait a minute. We are nerds.
We are nerds.
Look,
Um,
it comes down to time. Look, everyone's kind of blowing us up for the D&D stuff. It comes down to time. I DM, like DMing is what I do. And I don't have a game right now, and I really want to get back in my universe. But
So you know what I played? I actually played Vampire. I played World of Darkness. That was
Okay.
one of my gigs.
it's a D10 system, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, D10. Yeah. So I played World of Darkness, Vampire, Werewolf, Mage back in the day. That was
Just-
back.
Justin, I play blue-white control. You can hate me now.
Never play a blue deck against your significant other, Laura.
So I actually had a tournament deck that I went a couple years ago that was blue light control based on a card named Myth Realize, that every time you would cast a any kind of spell, it would roll up the counters, and then you could pay 1 mana to turn it into a creature and swing with it. So I would play that on turn 1 and 2 because I had 4 of them, and I typically get them pretty often. So I'd play those early and then just use my nope spells from my blue deck to just not play Magic for 6 turns. And then we're at the point where those things are both 8/8s and you don't have anything on the field because I just board wiped you. And we're about to have some fun.
I have no idea what you're talking about, but it
Yeah.
sounds cool. Fuck.
And like, don't forget these kind of game nights we're already talking about doing in the sponsors only channel. So we just have to hit that minimum for Raptor to go.
Yes,
up
you guys should-
on the launch.
I think you guys should do a goddamn libertarian fucking gaming podcast. Just do fucking gaming on a Sunday
And
night.
D&D does well on Twitch, and we're trying to get some
Yeah.
Twitch shit going.
That's what I think you guys should be doing. Do it. That's fucking awesome. Everyone would be like, my character just got hit by a fucking elf. Fuck. It'd be awesome. And then you got like Aaron. She's like, you play D&D, Aaron. So like,
Yeah.
you know the basics, but I just think it'd be hilarious. I think it's awesome.
When your elf gets beheaded and resurrected as a half orc.
There
You're
you
like, oh, fuck this shit. I'm done.
I'm laughing like I kind of know what you're talking about, but I played D&D for a little bit of time, but I was more into like Marvel superheroes. I went the comic book route. So I read comic books and I got in the rockabilly and music and all that other bullshit and drinking a
You
lot.
remember how like absolutely filthy the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle comic books were?
I fucking love Ninja Turtles though.
They were just, I loved them, and they were just like nasty. Well,
Okay, there's
at the
4 of
time,
us.
they were filthy.
Okay, so guys, I got to say this. There's 4 of us. Which Ninja Turtle did you relate to the most? Which one did you see you got, yourself, your inner spirit?
The purple one.
Donatello.
Sure.
I can't remember. The one who never wanted to go to the fights. Was there one of those? Is that the green one? The green headband guy?
No, he had no green. There was no green headband. But there was there's orange, Michelangelo. He was the party dude. Leonardo, the leader. Raphael, he was the fighter. And then Donatello, he was like the nerd.
He ate pizza.
The strategist.
I was a Donatello
Okay.
guy.
The strategist. the tactician.
So
Yeah.
I guess I would have been the partier guy.
What's that?
I said I guess I would have
The party guy, Michelangelo.
yeah.
So Justin, part of me really wants to play that, the Magic expansion to D&D, and the other part of me is like, fuck Wizards of the Coast so hard. I have actually a couple other games, and typically when I DM in my own world where you get to meet sky pirates that can stop time.
Oh, that's fun.
Oh yeah, that's my character. Anyway, it has been an hour and a half, and we're just like rolling on. There's no like clean stopping point here, so we're stopping it right here. Thank you, Johnny, for coming on and hanging out with us.
No problem, man. I had a fun time. It was good. It was good freestyle. It was good.
Anytime you want to come back, just let us know.
Absolutely.
There was something I was going to plug. I forget. Go give us money on Anchor and shit. And we are going to be starting to advertise our Twitch channel. We are going to have some live streams there, and we're going to try to have some like the D&D content there. But Twitch allows us to live stream, and once we get our numbers to a very reasonable point, like it's something we can easily do, you can kick us your Amazon Prime free subscription, and that would be a really easy way to give us $2 a month for nothing. Like it wouldn't cost you anything. So that's my plan. Like once we get that, I have an Amazon Prime on a different account, so I'm going to be hitting like backdooring myself some money. But yep, thank you all. We just lost Johnny, but thank you, Johnny. We'll see y'all next week. Actually, we'll see you Thursday for the Justin O'Donnell Smackdown. He's gonna rough me up.
Hey guys, thank you so much for having me on your show.